I think I am live. I don't see any numbers or anybody on here yet, so I always see numbers. Hello Bernice, how are you doing? I seen you on at the tail end there when myself and Luca was talking, and there his fine self is Luca there as well. So, Luca, do you want to jump on here with me? And I'm hoping my connection's strong enough here tonight. But as I say, I'm very easygoing. I'll play it by ear. So I'll send you a request and we'll continue on, and then I'll bring you into my title. Head on to see now that I can add you in. Hello, Paul. Now, go on.
Hello.
You're on this side of me now. You see,
What?
whenever you bring me on, actually, that's a good angle because I'm working off my iPad, so I'm looking directly ahead now. I have to turn this way. I'm not looking away from anything.
I wonder if there would be a way to switch it. No, you can. Yeah, you're right. We normally have the other.
I'm the boss. I'm the boss now.
That's that's why. That's right.
But you know, Lucas, say I had no big plans of what to talk about. I didn't even know I was to talk here the night then it came out of the blue.
That's right. Yes, but I think that's a great way of doing it. I actually love the idea of doing it that way, just talking about whatever, whenever. And,
well, I guess
yeah.
what I wanted to speak about really what I have been experiencing for myself and for others that has been happening these last few days. And I'm very much into what is happening energetically. And this is like the bigger thing about expanding really the mind now to think on a bigger spectrum really of stuff. And I know that it's for some, it may not be for some, but if I was to not speak about something, that's me in fear of what others will think about me. Can you hear me okay? Yeah?
Oh, I can, perfectly, yes.
Good.
Yeah.
So what has been happening, I guess, this last couple of weeks, but more so from Sunday, this absolute feeling of a knowing. I absolutely believe we have always known. We have known more, and we are always in search of what that is. I think that's why we search and strive for many things that are outside of us to bring that within us. But I do believe there's a stage where a remembrance is coming to people, where people are awakening to the truth of what they are, what the true self is. So I am going to ask you, as my co-host on the Evelyn and Luca show, where is your vibration? Where is your vibration, Luca? What do you feel about? What do you think the vibration or what the true self of Luca, what Luca is?
Fantastic. Yes, I think, or better than that, I feel that my true authentic self, my purest vibration is where my bliss lies. But what do I mean by bliss? I feel that each one of us is coming here in this life to sing his or her song, to play his or her game, basically to contribute, doing something that he or she loves doing. And it's not an easy thing, though. I think it could be a lifetime process. It's no easier said than done to really realize what makes our heart sing. And some people, unfortunately, they live all their life and they don't know it. I feel that nowadays there really is some kind of, there's different energy coming through. I don't know how to explain it. Things are moving faster. The consciousness of the universe is expanding. And I think we are at a time now when, yes, we can realize much faster than before what we are truly here to do, and what we love doing, and what is our highest vibration. And yes, I think it's very much about vibration. It's very much about tuning ourselves to the highest vibration possible. And it's there. It's almost as if here, imagine a radio station with different frequencies, and our optimal state of living and being is up here. So our challenge, our work, so to speak, it's to raise our vibration in every way, shape, or form we can. Like maybe, yes, we are in a job where we don't like to be and we would like things to be different. So let's start appreciating where we are. Let's start. Oh my gosh, I'm just looking at myself. My picture is terrible today. I don't know why. So yes, can you see? It's
your
amazing. I can see what you guys
yeah.
tell me.
But that could be on my side. You see, you were
No,
just
it's
looking at
not. It's
yours.
my No, I can. No, it's there's something to do with the
The
internet
internet.
here.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
it's that energy stuff. It's your
I don't know.
it's your
But
antenna. Your antenna is interfering there with the vibrations you're sending out. It's fine. I can
yes,
still
I
see.
don't know what it
I
is.
can hear you. I can still hear you.
Good. If yes, but the picture is really not great. But anyway, let's not stop us. So
Stop
yes, I
looking at
think.
yourself.
Yes, I'm gonna put this off. Otherwise, it's terrible.
Oh look, my hair.
Yeah,
Oh
I
look.
wanted to know because if I look, no, I want. You guys keep saying the picture is not good. So if I look at the screen where we are on, I see everything perfectly. You see, I don't know what the picture that others see, and I saw it now. I think, oh my gosh. So yes,
But
so
it's
yes,
not
going back
just
to my.
like life. It's not like life. What you're seeing in front of you, that's all I need to see. But how on if I start looking around me? Jesus, look at the way.
Is that really what it is?
I've been living in this bubble this last hour.
Yes, yes. But it's funny. It's funny you say that though. I noticed that when I go to maybe shops or places, and I still regard myself as being like a little young boy. And I hear, it's, especially in Italy, people they can say you, but then we have another way of addressing somebody, which is like lei, which it means like you say that with like older people. And when I see people talking to me like I'm an older person, and I'm wonder, what? And then I realize then I look at myself in the mirror and I go, oh, I know what they mean. So yes, my
Someone
mental is
said
not so
that
good.
to me the other day that I was working with. They said, in they still feel that yes, they are a different back in time, and they say it. And when I go to put on a pair of jeans, I'm like, what happened to these? Did they shrink in the wash? Or if I'm ironing a t-shirt, if they'd put on a wee bit of weight, so ironing a t-shirt, and say that must have stretched, because in my mind somebody must have left their t-shirt here. But
I know.
and so we could be at any time existing on different. That's another story, like at different timelines at any given time. So maybe we just hop back and forth. Jesus, I
That's
was young one minute now.
Which uniform am I? Which universe am I
What's
on?
time?
Yes.
Yeah, can somebody check in with me what timeline I'm here? Which one is this?
Oh my gosh.
But
So
yeah,
yes,
about vibrations and stuff. So, but here's the thing too. As anything, because there must be the polarity, the opposite. So as energy and consciousness is awakening and shifting, and I feel sometimes like I'm repeating myself because it seems to be the same thing over and over, but it is the daily thing that if people are wondering why am I feeling the way that I am, and I hear people saying, oh my god, this energy shifting and things are happening, and I am going the other road, but that's what's going to happen too. This is the choice. You will
yes,
either awaken, your consciousness will awaken, and depending on whatever level of consciousness where we're at, that's when we'll see how quickly things change or how much joy is in our life, or we will go the opposite road. And if it's happening equally as quick as the other end, by God, there's going to be a lot of not so pleasant things happening in people's lives.
yes. Exactly. We are all one connected. We are all so interconnected. It's amazing. So yes, this huge planetary shift is happening, and when many people may evolve and be up with this, keep up with these new frequencies, but who doesn't, for whatever reason, their own little life, their own individual system is going to be shaken up so much. Which yes, they're almost like either you get on board and fly high, or maybe you get drawn down even more. So yes, there's no really middle ground anymore.
I know,
It's
I know, and that's and I feel like it's, and this is a part of having to stand back and witness that even
yes,
though you are aware and you feel it and you experience it and you see it and you know what's going to take place for people, but without putting fear in people's way, like wake up and smell,
yes,
oh, this is what's going to happen, because that is not mine. And we still have to resist in that part of saving people, saving them from
yes,
the turmoil and the destruction and the pain that's going to happen in their lives, because
yes. There is, yeah.
it's not my choice. I have to again witness this.
So much wisdom in your words. That is very, 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 very important. It's so important, in fact, that there's different. There's almost like opposite schools of thought. There's some people, and they're really, really great professional in the way they work. That they would say, well, push them and train them and coach them and make them do whatever they say they want to do. At the same time, some other people that they might say, my philosophy, my way of working is actually the opposite. I would say never, never, ever give any direction to anybody. And of course, if you're going into the psychoanalytic realm, that's how it is. Everything has to be own. Everything has to be the choice of the individual. I personally, like, every time I think there's no right or wrong, good or bad. I think it really matters. It's a matter of, like you say, of being intuitive enough to understand when it's good, a little nudge, a little pull, when it's just create a space and honor where they're at and let them be. Absolutely. What you said, it's profound to really realize exactly that everybody, sometime, actually always, they're living what they're living because they have to go through it. And it's our job to just honor that and hold space for that. Absolutely.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's something that I have to learn myself, because I haven't it all mastered. Every day there's a learning thing, and I
Yeah.
know that I may have transitioned in a lot of stuff, but I am so delighted for those that do get the nudge. I'm nearly delighted that there's more people that are right.
Yes.
I am ready. I'm ready for it. And then to remind that, again, people are only operating on a level of whatever vibration that we're all at. I don't get it all, and I don't claim to, because when I do, I don't know it. Then that's the ego part coming into us. But it does my heart
Yes.
good when I see people just stepping past that wee bit of fear. And once they do, things start happening, things start changing. But if we consistently make up or having a reason, a genuine, what we believe, a genuine reason for why things can't happen, that's okay. That's your reason. And we have to let that go. And you nearly can guess for people what there'll just only be more turmoil and trouble and things that'll occur in life, more so.
Yes.
I can hear you zipping. Is that your wee pencil case, little boy?
Yes. As you said,
Evelyn
it
hears
is.
all.
It's probably one of the biggest challenges in life, to know what is most appropriate for us to do in any given time. It is challenging in our own life, let alone when we're dealing with somebody else. Yes, one way that I love to work with people is and I like to call it a phenomenological way. I trust that whatever is arising in any exchange in life, and especially when we're working with somebody, it is appropriate. So whatever is arising could be something they say or something they don't say, something they do. And that's the clay we can work with. And if we do it in a way that we are aware that there is an intelligence overseeing everything and directing what, as you say, I definitely don't have a clue. I can know. Whatever I would say, the moment I say no, I'm already saying that I all I know is just a little fraction of whatever else. But when we are open to know that we don't know, that there's something else that is conducting everything, then everything becomes interesting.
Yeah, and that's the excitement.
Yes.
That's the
Yes.
excitement. I feel in life now that where I was at, I was, when's the next thing? I was impatient. When's it happen? When's it, but now I really feel an excitement that I know things are happening, and the excitement of what is going to come. What do you feel that I'm ready for now? Because my mind's not even gonna switch on to it. But I'll sit back and laugh, and I'll say, okay, well, if you feel that I'm ready, I'm here. I'm ready.
Yes, absolutely. And it's not the job of the mind. It's beyond the mind. It is totally transcending the mind. Yes, it is something else.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
Look, I know that you have to
Look.
head off. You have to go on your yacht.
Yes.
Are you heading out in the yacht for the
There you
night?
go. How did you know? Yes.
And you only
Yes.
manifested that last week.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. He's actually going
Thank
to
you.
have a bath with his wee rubber duck and his wee toy boat.
There we go. That's my
But
yacht.
in Luca's head, it's his yacht. Luca,
Thank
thank
you
you
so much
so
for having me
much.
on.
Do you know
Thank
how to
you.
exit? Because
No.
we didn't master this the last time.
Do
Remember?
you know how to exit? You know what? If I press the X, I'm sure I'm gonna, yes, I just press the
You.
X. I'll
Right.
do
Well,
it
we'll
because if
say
you're on,
goodbye
you're the
now.
boss. Yes. Ciao. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Luca.
Have a good evening. Ciao. Thank you,
Let's see
Evelyn.
if this works.
Thank you.
I tried this the last time and it didn't work.
Okay. Are you kidding? Segway. Okay. No. Okay. One
Right.
second. I know. No, it
Okay,
doesn't
I'll
work.
hit the X. I'll hit the X. And I hopefully should stay on. I'll hit X. You ready? You ready for your big exit?
Ready. I'm ready. Yes. Ciao.
Bye, Luca.
Bye. Bye.
Oh, hold on, hold on. Oh, it says to
No, don't.
continue without guest. That's okay. I'm going to continue without the guest. We did have this issue the last time. We didn't know how to get out. Now we do. The host has to exit the co-host. So I was on with Luca there a wee minute ago, and then he was so kindly that come on here and spoke with myself. And it does really seem that we are repeating on most of the things that we talk about, continually talk about, but how that things are happening in any given time. We will make a choice in any time, in any present moment, through fear or through love. Sometimes we get the love thing confused, where we feel we're coming from love, but it may be an act of, it comes as, I need to control something, I need to control others' behaviors, I need others to act in a certain way in order for me to feel a certain way. So at this stage where we are at, and what I wanted to speak about tonight, in the huge up leveling of energy. And I mean, I have never felt what I have felt from on Sunday night there. The feeling that came over me or came within me, and I didn't even know if I could handle it all. It was like I thought I was going to burst out crying, but crying with absolute joy. And I've had glimpses of this before through this whole period where we were. I found it a great time, but it's like it's a no one. It's that no one, and now the feeling is coming in, and it's that something bigger is taking place, and it is depending on where we're at any given time, and where we're at is perfectly okay, because we don't need to be the same as everybody else or compare ourselves to anybody else. Oh, why am I not seeing things? Why am I not hearing things? Why am I not doing this? It is because this here is getting in the way. Then the thinking, the thought, and when you just be you, be the best version of you, be the happiest version of you, be the most joyous version of you, and know that's the time that life, everything really changes. I spoke with someone last week, and they're really wanting to bring in someone into their life, a partner, and they want joy and excitement into their life. And this is what they're seeking from the other person to bring in. And when I ask that person, when was the last time that you sat down and actually held yourself with laughter? They had to think about that. And they said that maybe on a Zoom call with friends, but with this COVID thing. Now, and then I'd ask something else, yeah, but with this COVID thing, you see, that's unknowingly to that person, and that's their that's their reason. They don't believe it's an excuse. It's a reason why I haven't laughed because of COVID, because I didn't have anybody that was there that made me laugh. But you see, you must be the change that you wish to see. If I wish to see joy in my life, if I wish to see laughter, if I wish to see love in my life, I have to be that. Me. That brings it in. And that's where I become in love with the self. Self's only love anyway, but to recognize that, to be your best friend, to be your biggest cheerleader, to be for you. And it doesn't mean that we have to make things then about us, because when we begin to make things about us, this is where, again, the thought gets in the way. What have I to offer anybody? But sure, do they know my past? Sure, I have nothing really to say to people. That's the thought. When then we make it about this false self. But when it is about the true self, what you are, this beautiful, divine, high vibe, energy, being, spirit, it becomes about we. It becomes about everything, because it's all one energy. And it's something I want to ask you to bring your awareness to that may be taking place this week. Now, depending on where we're at, again, on your vibration, on your frequency, depending on what they're thinking. And we're always developing ourselves. We're always, trying to bring in something good today, trying to bring in more, or things that I can emit from myself, dropping things away that no longer serve me. Okay. Then we start to try and master these thoughts that hold us back from being your true self. The thoughts. Do you remember? Who do you think you are? You don't have the money. People will think you're showing off. That's the thought, and that's going to feed you the false self. So now you've done the work and you've mastered this near enough. I don't know if we fully mastered, but I can hear the thought coming in. I can hear you, and you're saying to me, don't be doing it. But it's all right, relax. And we get a kind of a handle on these. So that's our ego part of us. But what will happen, because everything is one energy, but because of the human senses of eyesight, we see everything as divided. Man, woman, boy, girl, right? That we see it all as divided, okay? But it's just in form. So when your ego cannot infiltrate you because you have this kind of master, it's going to come at you from another angle. It's very smart indeed. It's another form of energy. As much as one is conditional of, this other one is a different species, or not a species, but it's just the same, but in a different way. It will come through people's voices. It will come through something you will see. It will get you in another way. And this is where you have to be ahead of the game, ahead of this ego, and know that if somebody was to say something to you today, instead of seeing them as the individual, that this is part of my ego probably talking back to, saying whatever it is that I have mastered in my head, now it's going to come at me in a different way. And if it triggers me in any way, it has got you. It is like, yes, we have a result, because now with that person saying something to you, you have gone back into anger, you've gone back into fear, you've gone back into self-doubt, and it is a result. And isn't it a brilliant result? Like, that's how smart really it is. But it's for you to be more in tune with the true self of that and see it as that. This is all one ball of energy, and hold on, this is trying to come at me through another way. Even the reflection that I see in the mirror. What is that ego will get? Oh, it loves a reflection. It loves a reflection of a body in the mirror, because you are blinded by the human senses. Absolutely. We just depend on these so heavily all of the time. So remember and be aware of that, that should it be through a human voice? Should it be through something you read on social media? Should it be that something that comes through in the news somewhere? If it leaves you in a feeling of frustration, of why, of judgment, it will trigger something. You'll feel it. Actually, you'll feel it in your stomach or your gut there, your belly, and it triggers something of, well, this is the way that ego or fear will come at you in many, many ways. And this is where you have to be smarter. And this is where it is very a consistent thing that as soon as when I open my eyes in the morning, I say, hello, day, I am here. You are here with me. I am here with you. I am here to enjoy this and greet this day. And to know, and I will be very aware this day, that whatever comes my way, that I am more than able and capable of dealing with it. Now, I had, as I said to Luca earlier, a conversation with a good friend yesterday, and they were aware that when a situation did happen, they removed themselves from it and they took themselves off and they gave me a phone call. Now, this person does a lot of work with themselves, but they were caught in that wee moment and they said, Evelyn, I need to ask you. And they explained the situation to me. And they said, I've had a complaint put in against me. And I said, God, this is great. Tell me what happened. And I settled myself down to hear the story. And they went on to tell it. So this was, I was able now to see, to witness this, because they were in the situation. And what had happened was the ego went after the Achilles heel. The ego went after the place that it would damage this person the most, through their passion, through their love, through their joy, through the giving that this person does. And what it does is it will get you in any little residues of fear that are still lying within you, and it will trigger them within you. Now, he had a choice at that stage to react to a situation and justify his actions, or just say that he didn't say that, or find out who told that, or ring his friends and say, would he hear what happened? He had all them choices. But the choice that he made was, okay, I am not now, I can feel what this is hitting me and on my body. I'm going to remove myself from the situation. I'm going to lift the phone. I'm going to have a conversation. And I know after this conversation, I see the whole thing clearly. And that's where it come about. And I says, just you be mindful of ego, because it's going to come at you. It's going to come in every wee angle, because the changes that this person is making are phenomenal. They are amazing. What they are going to achieve, what they're going to do in their life is wonderful to help mankind, for other humans. And it's all from his heart. And the amount of work and effort and time that he does spend with people. But there'll always be a wee residue of fear, of self-doubt, of self-something. And it will come at you, and it will get you in your Achilles heel. And sometimes it actually comes through friends and family, the people that you think are there to support you. Be careful, because let's say it will spiral, this energy will come through them. And it doesn't mean they don't love or support, it's how they are at that time. But this is the awareness that we must bring. And it's like being on guard 24/7. That if I feed into this, ego's like, yes, result. So if that person had fed into what this person had said about them, because everybody else is feeding into it, and they were like, no, let this drop, let it drop. And it was let drop. However, today, a bigger thing happened. But thankfully, we had our conversation this morning, and we were like, we got to see this through to Sunday. The energy is really like, I mean, as much as there's an up leveling, there's a huge pull the other road, and it's going to come. It's going to come. And when he was telling me the story today, he could sit and laugh about it, because he says, Jesus, Evelyn, we're to tell you what happened today. And we sat and laughed. I said, but isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing to be able to remove yourself from a situation and witness it and know you'll have to rise a wee bit earlier, ego, before you try to get me today. So this is where I must be on top of my game, everybody. And it's not even a game. Life, well, if you wish to call it a game, but it is all part of that I need to be on top of my form today. That whatever comes my way, so that means getting to bed early, should it mean eating healthier, should it mean taking exercise, should it mean sitting in meditation, taking time by myself, because I'll tell you that's where your ego is going to step in when you're on your own, because it's going to say, oh, by the way, you're lonely, you don't have anybody in your life who wants you, and that's where it's going to get you too. Oh, it knows all your weaknesses, but this is the time to feed into, this is self, to remember, to come to remember, because you do know it. You have always, always, always known it. We have simply just forgotten. And there are certain things that come along in your life and you sit and you feel it. And I know there's a person on here tonight, and I know they said to me the first time they seen me, and we didn't even know, Evelyn, when you walked into the room, I felt something. And this wasn't about me. You see, this wasn't about me. That this was the connection of energy. That's what it is. It was one, it was a remembrance. I didn't even have to open my mouth. It was remember, 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 remember. What you feel from me is a connection, what it is within you. What I feel, because it's all one. And if we listen to our intuition or gut, not here, because we get very stuck up in here too, is that if no matter what anybody has to say, we could have somebody that say, I am the best spiritualist person ever, but always go by your intuition and your feeling. And go and recognize that too, because again, ego will slip in it every way. It can come in many titles, it can come in many presenters, it can come in many ways. But always trust yourself, because you have this, you know this, and you just are coming to a stage of remembering what it is. And you will feel it when you connect to others, and not feeling as in feeding into a victim story, or feeding into God, oh my God, I could cry for that person. And yes, we have empathy, but when we see how then they have mastered, how they have been able to change that, look at that. That's what I see. Rejoice and celebrate the change, the remembrance, the recognition that someone has came through experiences in their life, and now they have become, as Kerry we would say, you evolve from being the victim to be the mentor. You evolve from being the fixer to being the teacher. And this is where the transitioning appears or happens in our lives, to be able to witness without judgment. And it all must start with self. And if this means stepping away from situations, if it's family, if it's your children, if it's work, if it is not serving me, then I have to step away. What is it that I choose to bring into my life? And not to think that we all have this right, by the way, just because, that I read books or wrote books or do this here, that I get it right all the time. Absolutely not. Because as soon as we come off that call with my friend the other day, or today, sorry, I said, Jesus, I felt like Peter when he says to our Lord, I'll not deny you. And sure enough, he did. I says, because something happened. And I was like, are they kidding me? And I was like, oh, there we go, Evelyn. That was quick. So it only took a matter of seconds. And are you serious? Did this? And then I says, whoa, step back there now, Evelyn. But thankfully, then it comes that the awareness becomes quicker. And we laugh at that and say, well, there you go. You've still more learning. It's always learning. Everything's always learning. I feel now, geez, that all this that is happening, that is within, but everything is really happening very quickly, and it will happen very quickly in either way. What you choose at any given time, when you become heavily reliant on your human senses, you are very much into separation. And you see things as separate. You see things as people doing stuff to you. You see things that people need to change in order for my life to change. You see what is missing in my life. Where you become to that self and see past the physical. And it's not even the seeing, it's the feeling. It's the feeling of that. And the feeling must start from within, that I love myself, regardless what my hair looks like, regardless what my nose is like. But certainly the more that we become in love with ourselves, it's like, just walk out like you've walked out of a catalogue, in your tracksuits, in your bedroom slippers. It's not about any of that, but it's about the feeling of what you have for yourself and what you can gift to the world through your joy, through your passion, through your love, through your compassion, and allow people their journeys. Whatever journey they are on, that is their journey. It is not mine. It is their journey. But certainly, wherever paths they're meant to cross, and people's lives are meant to cross each other's lives for one reason or another. And that's all it is. That's what it is. And I would like to think or hope on anybody that comes into my life that it's for joyous things. And sometimes it doesn't feel like joy. Sometimes it's some way the opposite. But it's a teacher of something, for patience, for letting go of judgment, for letting go of control. And to know, Evelyn, this is not of your concern. This is everybody's journey, and that's the most difficult thing sometimes, is to stand back and not rescue people, to be the rescuer. Maybe people have more discoveries to make or experiences, I don't know, in their life, but I certainly know, I absolutely, at this time, is that what we are truly putting out, and it's not even, could you imagine, like, if there was an unlimited of anything? It was just unlimited, whatever. And say even for 5 years from now, will we even dream to think 5 years ahead? If 5 years came in front of me now, geez, what do I think for 5 years' time? Because you go on a job interview and people would say, where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? Well, now maybe I'd be in management, or maybe I'd be, so we can say them things in an interview, but really for your life, how would I see it myself or feel myself? And what is missing actually here at this time in life? What is it that's missing in my life? And what would I want to bring in? So can I start being that change for me now? And everything starts changing. But as long as we permit and allow anything from the outside to control us, that's the way life's always going to be. It really is. And it will continue to control us. And I know there's many people that this once upon a time did not make sense, but I can come to a place of peace. They'll say, Evelyn, I was so proud of myself this week. A woman come to me with a story, and I was able to see this. She says, I never seen the other side of the coin before. I would have fed into that woman's story and would have ragged on this other person for how they hurt her. But she says, I was able to look at that, and actually then the other person was like, thanks. That gave a whole different perspective on the picture and how they were feeling. So, as like Lucas spoke about earlier, we all have a choice at any given second. And if you choose to say to yourself, okay, but, ask, what's the but? And this is where we get deluded by the illusion of reality. But you don't have that. So, but why is it said we can't have it? But you don't have the qualifications. But you don't have the money. But you don't have the husband. Lots and lots and lots of buts. And I know a lot of this is quite hard or difficult to believe. It doesn't make sense, and it won't make sense. It can never make sense, because the mind, the logical thinking will never compute that, because that's not what it's designed to do. It's all a feeling. It's here. It's trust this. I'm ready. Just hand it over. Because no matter how much I felt, if I didn't have money in my life, oh my word, everything I've always been provided for, more than provided for. But as long as we continue to, when things did change for me, is when I took a leap of faith. When I said, when I went, that I didn't have the money, I got, if I had to do whatever I had to do, to borrow, to ask, and that always came, and then I worked and paid that back. But I never allowed them things to stop me, because my calling I felt for me was bigger than that. And it's when something in me would say, you can't do that. No, you can't do that. I think I would have just said, well, just watch me. Just watch me. But as I say, I can't have someone else's want for others more than they want for themselves, dream for others more than they dream for themselves. I'm quite sure my journey is far from finished, and I know for everybody else, our journeys is far from finished. But how do I wish to spend the rest of it? What do I wish to see in my life? And even though, that's what I'm saying, we're going to get the mind in here, and the mind will not compute, but how will this happen? Don't worry about that. That's not the mind's job to work it out. This is what you're of. This is the divine energy. This is the universal, the God energy. Everything will work for you in order to bring about for your highest good what it is that you wish for in this life. So, ladies and gentlemen, I know I have about 15 minutes left on this here, so I'm just going to scroll down to see. Luke is very good. He can read his questions out at the time. Hello, Bernice. How you doing? Hello, Julie. See you in a bit. Hello, Siobhan. Who's that? Baba. Now, I hope I pronounce these names right. Good evening. Good evening, Carrie. Hello, Morella. Good evening. I didn't know to find you two together in the same live. I know when Luke is on, he'll take me on and vice versa. We should have our own show, shouldn't we, Evelyn and Luke? I love talking to them. Hello, Una. How you doing? Hello, Kayleen. This is it. Now, see me reading this here text here. Which is the weight of our past experiences in our present life, actually? Sorry, what was that again? Which is the weight of our past experiences in our present life, actually? Are they involved in our personal growth? Is the question, is the past, I don't really understand what the question is. Which is the weight? Was there a question before that? No. Which is the weight of our past experiences in our present life? Actually, I'm not 100% sure on the question there, but maybe we'll make it. All right, we need to cut all those negative persons or situations out of our life. Yes, and remember though that, but we learn from that. So when we talk about a negative person, okay, so for example, this is what I spoke about earlier on, about the ego will come through in many, many ways. If something that someone is saying to us is triggering us off, there's still that residual part that needs me. It's all, yes, it's coming from the other person, but my ego, I know, will try and get to me through other things that is happening outside if I've mastered the control of this here. If I come in judgment of that person as well, that is my ego judging them that you're wrong and I'm right, and you shouldn't be talking like that, and I should. And it doesn't feel, that's still part of ego. When I judge on others for how they speak, talk, act, and behave, but I do get the choice. Do I choose, as you say, Morella, do I choose to be in this company? Should I choose to feed into this? And actually then the more that you become in recognition of self, that filters. And then we will make changes in our life and step away from it. Or if our vibrations will eventually, that we change, that all of those things start falling away. It becomes less and less and less and less. I would safely say and guarantee you that I have no association with people that have anything negative to say about others. But I do welcome it every so often into my life, because I need still that as a reminder, because we always need a teacher to come into our life, that I do not come in judgment of others. It gets less and less and less into our lives. But again, we're feeding into that one energy. Somebody says something bad to me, I take offense by it. I say something to them because I feel I'm on my positive journey and they're pulling me down. So you get the choice. What's my choice today? Do I go in? Do I sit and listen to this conversation? Or if it's in a relationship, if it's a husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend, whatever, and I can't keep walking away. Well, we kind of can too, you know, if we're sitting there. Or it's to see that, why is this is only triggering me because it's from a loved one. It's going to trigger me. It's still that part of the ego that is trying to get at me, because if I really did love and know myself, none of these, they won't touch you. They can't touch you. It is simply a way of this ego to try to get to you, to weaken you, to stop you from stepping into the light and the love that you are. And that's all we have to do, is to be smart, and say, not today, sunshine. Good luck with that. But it will hurt me, it will annoy me, it will pull me down if I still believe that them things are true about me. It will detect the wee things that we think we've got healed within us. Like my good friend that has done all this work and stepping out onto their own to do their own business, but yet now there's probably that wee bit of doubt or fear that's still lying dormant, and ego will detect, knows that, because that energy's still there, and it will hold on to it for grim death, and it'll say, I know, we've still got another chance. I've got another chance. This still has to shift. But the more then we become aware of the negative behaviors of others and let it go, I'm quite sure he'll never see that other person again in his life. So he's able to let that go, and that's his growth. That's the growth. So it wasn't that that person was wrong. They had their job, and their job was to say, to feed the ego. The ego was being fed, and it came out in anger. And but he was able to see this and say, that's all right. And they both went their separate ways. So the person that feeds into ego will then spiral on, as we were saying, how the energy is shifting. The other road, as the person that grows from it without judgment, would shift to another transitioning of this ascension. And that's the way that the universal energy is operating right now at this stage. If you choose to feed in or believe what anybody has to say that is still getting at you, it is going to pull you and spiral you down into a place where you're trying to remove yourself from. But it's just being smart. It's just being smart and aware. And that means preparing yourself from you waking in the morning. Get up earlier, before the house wakens. Have your time for you. Sit if you must, or if you wish to, in a meditation. And there's another wee thing that people are afraid to sit still, because they're afraid to be alone with their thoughts. And this is going to get you. If that's a fear that you have, I can't sit still. I can't sit still. My head keeps going tick, 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 tick. I can't sit in my stillness, because the thoughts is going to come in. You are the master of this. You control this. And when you come to recognize that, you will master everything in your life, and life would certainly change for you. So I think that's it. I think that's all that I need to speak about on tonight. Yeah, that's right. Ego, it's very tricky, and it takes us unaware every now and again. But it's funny, actually, when you see it, you can actually look at the things and laugh, and think, Jesus, I didn't expect it to come that way. Because if I see it as just one energy and say, all right, Evelyn, you need to sort that bit out. Or it's like, well, you'll have to do better than that. And I'll say, be careful what you wish for, Evelyn. Because it might come bigger the next time. It might come bigger the next time. But it's to bring joy and laughter and fun into their life, to try and drop the seriousness out of our daily life. And that's how simple that things can be. And you don't need money to laugh, to be that. And when we let go of having to control, of having to know, you already know, by the way, we already know, we're just coming into a remembering. And it's a remembering in every situation. Is this the truth of who I am? If I choose to believe it is, well, then it's going to hurt. If it's not resonating with you, of course it is. Of course it is. And we think that all these years, It's fine for me to talk to me like that, but don't dare anybody else talk to me like that. So when you start talking to yourself nicely, when you start talking to yourself kindly, when you start loving yourself, there's nothing there that can damage you, that can hurt you, that can bring you down. But we do need that again to grow. So remember, everybody has their purpose. Everybody has their journey. Nobody's wrong. Nobody's right. It's all neutral. You choose to be where you want to be at any given time. Don't be the victim. Don't blame others. This is your choice at any given time, no matter what is happening. Everybody has their own choices. It's what you choose to feed into, what you tell yourself, how much time you make for yourself, and what you give to yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say a huge thank you. I know I've probably about 5 minutes left there, maybe, on this here. So life is I need to get different glasses. Life is one only. We must enjoy it. Absolutely. Absolutely. I say I had a surprise visit today from a dear friend, and that are, I say, going to have a wonderful business. And I says, well, come down to the studio here and let's do your photo shoot. And they were like, really? And I love that about people. It's like, oh God, there was no, oh God, I'm not ready. I haven't got my clothes on, I haven't got my hair done. I says, let's do this. I love that. Let's do it. And it was effortless. And the crack and the laugh. Oh my God, I thought I was going to fall off the floor laughing. You know, but that's how effortless it was to take lovely photographs, because the joy and the laughter was there, and it was easy to see it in someone's face. And how simple things can be when you really want things to be simple. Just make them simple, and that's it. God bless everyone. Enjoy. What day is this? This is Thursday, Wednesday. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye bye.